All right, lads, what's going on here? Two videos in one day. But yeah, I had to do another one today because I wanted to react to Inter's friendly draw against Monza. Guys, we are literally 12 days out until Inter's debut in Serie A against Torino, Monday the 25th. We have one more friendly against Olympiacos. I don't know if Inter, Kivu, his staff will try to squeeze in one more friendly between that. I think they probably should because that is 9 days without a game. So maybe in-house again against the under-23s or the Primavera team or someone, an amateur team, something like that might have to be done because, yeah, Kivu said in his post-match press conference against after Monza, this is a different situation. Only four preseason games, only 1 month to prepare, something that has never happened before. So anyway, before we get into the highlights of the game, you guys know what to do. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for getting the channel to 12K subscribers. And yeah, we will share the screen and go ahead with the highlights from yesterday's game. Monza, crazy to see them in Serie B still. I mean, they were awful, but when you look at their team, their lineup was actually pretty good. You saw guys like Colpani in there. By the way, Colpani fans, where are you guys? Very loud a few years back. This guy is playing in Serie B. No one seems to be buying him from Serie A, but I think he should end up in Serie A. Izzo is there. A few other guys in there. Dani Mota, Churria, guys that probably deserve to be in Serie A. But anyway, interesting lineup. Well, interesting in a way, but not too interesting. I think by the end of the first game of the season, I think the starting 11 is going to be exactly the same as it was at the end of last season, which is, I know 70-80% of the fan base definitely didn't want to see that. But anyway, we'll get into it. Di Marco to Bonni. Nice bit of footwork, get some space, awful finishing, which we will continue seeing from Bonni in this game. And I think this season, I'm already prepared for Bonni to be frustrating in terms of his finishing and his shooting. He has a lot of work to do. I wanted him. I like the signing, but this guy needs to spend hours and hours at training, post-training, just shooting on goal. He needs to grab Di Gennaro, one of the Primavera goalkeepers, Pep Martinez, Zoma, whoever. Bro, told him, I need half an hour with you. Just shoot on goal. Some really bad misses from him this game. This was not too bad, but again, should get it at least on target. Overall, he did have a nice game. I did go back and watch this game, by the way, as much as I always claim to be uninterested in preseason games. And there we have it. Inter conceding again first, which is actually a little trend. I don't know if you've noticed it in the preseason under Kivu, and if we count the Club World Cup as well. Out of all the games that Inter have played on the Kivu, pretty much 90% of the time we have conceded first on the Kivu. And again, Club World Cup, preseason, it's not the same as it will be when the season starts, but some concerning signs with this team on the Kivu, and the fact that he keeps saying that he wants to play a high line and a high press. And what do we see? Someone gets in his cross a little bit too easily here. And who do we see here? Our friend from the Champions League final, Fede Di Marco, once again completely leaving his man free. I mean, at the same time, there should be someone else marking this guy, so someone had to mark this guy. But it also looks like Di Marco left his post and should have been there. Not a good look. Di Marco's poor form continues, and Inter go 1-0 down. Poor start to the game. No chance for Pep Martinez in there. Di Marco, better ball into Pio Bonni. Pio Bonni, by the way, I like the duo. Lovely play, but there by Bonni. Maybe should cut back to Pio, but I do want to see that from Bonni. I do want him to see him shoot. He seems to have the knack of passing more than shooting. And here we have the own goal caused by Di Marco. I mean, at least that's one thing with Di Marco. In form, out of form, that left foot should always at least put in crosses like that, which Birindelli ends up putting into the back of his own net. But I want to point out the good run by Petar Sucic to go into that space, something that probably Barella wouldn't follow up into there, but Sucic does. Frattesi would do that, so that's good to see. And then here we have the fantastic goal by Pio Esposito. Yeah, I've seen the comparisons. I used to say at the beginning when I first started watching him, it reminds me of Christian Vieri, but actually the Luca Toni comparisons make more sense with Pio. He's kind of tall and a little bit gangly, but now he's built up, his physique as well, and like the instinct to do that, but not just the instinct and the reaction, but the actual ability to pull that off. Very, very good, and his technique is definitely uh, much better than I think I used to give him credit for. Di Marco again going forward, he did well. Pio combining with Sucic, cuts it back, and here it is. This is a Lakaka type miss, Lakaka overweight, out of form Lakaka. And that's his stronger foot, Boni, as well. That's not his weak foot, that's his strong foot. Awful, awful miss, not even on target. He really, really needs to get his shooting, ball striking down. Again, though, you see DiMarco's kind of involved in all these plays. Mkhitaryan tries to shoot from the edge. Not too bad of an effort, but if Mkhitaryan is also going to be starting, which I think on match day 1 he will be starting, and I think for most of the season he will be starting, we need to see an improvement with Mkhitaryan in the final third. It looks like on the Kivu we will be shooting a lot more on goal from distance out on the edge of the box. So we need to see improvements from everyone, not just Hakan. All the other midfielders need to help. Oh, by the way, speaking of guys that should be in Serie A, Pessina really should be in Serie A at least. He's the captain of Monza. I think they gave him quite a nice bumpy contract that not on many, lower team Serie A teams would be able to match. But still, Pessina is a Serie A level player for sure. And then here we start to see some of the issues into, playing a high line, playing, high press. But yeah, by the end of we're at the 85th minute, there was a lot of Primavera players on the pitch. There was Bovo in midfield, Kamate in midfield, Kokki a left wing back. There was a guy, Mosconi, I think, a right wing back. So, and towards the end of the game, tired legs. So I can give that. But there was definitely issues in our defensive, the way we defended. Oh, sorry, no, this is Lautaro's big chance. My bad. But in general, we did look shakier defensively in this game. But yeah, here's the goal, which was actually offside. You'll see here, just as the player connects there, he is offside. Mosconi, the young, I don't think he was a right wing back by trade, so we can let him off. And he was offside anyway. But it just shows, the potential issues Inter will have. Because if you're going to play this type of high line, high press, then you can't leave. Then it has to be man for man, all lines of pass, and each man has to be taken. You can't have a guy who's so much space to ping a pass, whether he's a Serie B player, and even worse, a Serie A level player. And he punishes us to take us to penalties. And speaking of penalties, we'll see some penalty takers that we haven't seen. Well, I've never seen Barella take a penalty, I don't think. I don't think I've ever seen Thuram take a penalty. And they all netted it, all 5 penalties, which was good to see. And by the way, this is, if you don't know, that guy is the son of Obafemi Martins, former Inter player, Nigerian Inter player. That's his son, who used to play for the Inter youth, but now he's been at Monza for a couple of years. So little connection to Inter there. Good save from Pep Martinez there to save that penalty. And then here's Marcus Thuram's winning penalty. Maybe he should step up for some penalties. He is one of those penalty shy strikers like Dzeko. Dzeko never doesn't really step up for penalties for some reason. None of this Thuram. But yeah, it looks like, he's pretty ice cold with it. He looked pretty good there. Maybe he should. But yeah, overall, it wasn't a great match. The standouts were, I like Petar Sucic. I like Boni outside of his shooting. Everything else was good from Boni. Pio Esposito just continues to impress. I've not seen him have one bad game yet since the club woke up. Pio Esposito really continues to impress. I saw some criticism for Luis Enrique, as usual, which seems to be the trend right now. But I did like him overall. I think just his final ball definitely needs improving. People keep saying he's not taking on the player. You can't just force it. Like, you have to be in a position that you're 1v1, you're not doubled up on, and there's space for him to run into. Can't just keep take on a man for just the sake of it, just to create, say that, oh yeah, he's completed 2 dribbles or attempted 3 dribbles. But in general, he's very comfortable on the ball. He had something different. I don't think I don't think the Di Marco Luis Enrique duo is complementary. I think it has to be, if it's Luis Enrique, it has to be Carlos Augusto on the other side. If it's Di Marco, then it has to be Dumfries on the other side, because at least you have two different types of players. I think Enrique and Di Marco both like to have the ball and to build up and not attack the far post to go into the box. We need at least one guy that does that, complementary wing backs. But I didn't mind Enrique's performance. Aslani was decent, but again, why is he playing if he's an outcast? The defense in general, like individually, they were fine, but as a whole, there was shaky moments. And yeah, Lautaro definitely should have scored when he came on. And yeah, that's it really. Not too much else to talk about. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And yeah, normal service, as I said, will be resuming in the next few days. Make more videos on Inter transfer market if something happens. Hopefully something does happen on the incomings and outgoings. I will keep you up to date. Ciao ragazzi, always Forza Inter, minus 12 days.